I was sprinting through the woods, gasping for air. Glanced over my shoulder, just pitch black, but I could feel it. Something was out there, watching, chasing me. A flash of movement at the corner of my eye. There it was, darting between the trees, then perched on a branch up ahead, its glowing eyes locked on me under the pale moonlight. Who's there? I am not scared. I know karate, you know. No answer. What do you want from me? I tripped over a root, face planting into the ground. It had vanished. I scrambled to my feet. Gotta get out of here, and fast. Suddenly, chills crept down my spine. I could feel it behind me without even turning around. I tried to scream, but the sound got stuck in my throat as cold breath brushed the back of my neck. No, please! Then, a sharp, burning sting hit my neck. My vision blurred, my knees buckled, and everything faded to black. 18 hours earlier. I was slapping some jam on toast, rushing because the school bus would be here any second. Jam and bread are getting so dang expensive these days. Did I pack my biology book? Wait, maybe I already did. Did you even hear me? Your tuition's going up again. I swear, they're squeezing the life out of me. I don't even know why I'm paying for all this nonsense. I'm sorry, Aunt Martha. I promise when I graduate, I'll get a job and pay back every penny you spent on me. You won't have to worry about me anymore. You better. I'm not planning on dealing with you forever, you know. I choked down my dry toast and dashed out the door after saying goodbye. Oh, hey there. I'm Olivia. I've been putting up with Aunt Martha's nagging ever since my parents passed away years ago. I hopped on the school bus, found my usual seat, and stared out the window. The sky over Transylvania was all gray, with the mountains peeking through in the distance. This place was soaked in legends about vampires and supernatural stuff. Of course, I never bought into any of that. Another day of endless classes finally ended when the bell rang. I made my way to my locker, and as I fumbled with the lock, a friend bounced over, beaming. Hey, Olivia! You've got to come to the party tonight! It's up on the mountain, right behind the school! There'll be a ton of these before Halloween! Don't miss out! Before I could respond, she shoved a flyer into my hand and dashed off to join her friends. Mountain party tonight. Don't miss the fun before Halloween, where the creatures of the night come out to play. Sounded fun. I decided I'd wear my favorite dress tonight. Party season, here we come! I arrived at the party, lights twinkling everywhere. Everyone was already there, chatting and laughing. As I got closer, a few heads turned, and I could hear whispers spreading through the crowd. My friend from earlier ran up on me. Oh my gosh, you look amazing! Thanks. I joined the group and they started chatting with people I'd never really hung out with before. Turns out they were super nice and fun. I was so glad I came tonight. Then my phone buzzed in my pocket. Aunt Martha's name flashed on the screen. I had to step away to answer. Olivia, where on earth are you? I'm out, just doing some stuff. What's up? I'm hungry and there's nothing left in the fridge. Get home and make dinner now. Can't you just buy? I don't have time to argue with you. Get home now! She hung up, leaving me standing there with the phone still pressed to my ear. Guess it's time to turn back into Cinderella. I was ready to tell my friends I'd have to leave early, but suddenly, a cold gust blew through the trees, sending shivers down my spine. The temperature dropped instantly. I glanced around, feeling like someone was watching me from the shadows. Not far away, the party plunged into chaos as every light blinked out. Something deep inside me screamed, urging me to run for my life. I woke up in my familiar bedroom, but something felt different. Everything was sharper and clearer. I could hear the engine of a car passing down the street and even the soft flutter of a moth trapped in the ceiling light. I looked toward the window and my eyes locked onto something on the mountain in the distance, way farther than I should have been able to see. A deer standing on a rock ledge. A strange urge surged inside me. I was thirsty and hungry. Without thinking, I darted toward the window at an impossible speed. Ouch! What the? The moment sunlight hit my skin through the glass, a searing pain shot through me like 1,000 needles stabbing all at once. I stared at my hand, but the pain disappeared as quickly as it had come. The deer was gone. What just happened? Why did sunlight hurt so much? Olivia! Aunt Martha stormed into my room without knocking, her face red with rage. I cannot believe you! I found you passed out on the porch last night after God knows what kind of craziness! What were you thinking getting that wasted? I stared at her, barely hearing a word she said. My eyes fixated on the pulse in her neck, the blood flowing just beneath the surface. A fierce hunger hit me, twisting my stomach into knots. I clapped my hand over my mouth and turned away. If you puke, you better clean it up! When she finally left, I could breathe again. My phone buzzed with a notification from the school forum. Halloween party next week. Don't forget your vampire costumes. Vampires. The word made me freeze. All the signs were there. Heightened senses, fear of sunlight, and bloodlust. If this was real, my life as I knew it was over. I was bitten that night and turned into something else. Something monstrous. I had to find the one who did this to me, no matter what. Later that week, with the sky overcast, I slipped into class and quietly took my seat. I tried to act normal, even though every little sound felt like it was exploding in my ears. I buried myself in a book, trying to distract myself from the gnawing hunger with all these humans around me. Hey there! I looked up startled and saw the girl from the party, but she looked different now. More fierce, I guess? Sorry, I'm busy. I stood up quickly, but before I could leave, a heavy grip clamped down on my shoulder. She was fast, too fast for a normal person. I stared at her in shock, but she just gave me this sly, knowing smirk. You don't have to hide. We're the same, you know. The girl named Celine led me to a quiet spot behind the school. While I was still in shock at the revelation, she was a vampire too. But I was turned that night too. So you don't know who did this to us? She didn't answer, just stared off into the distance. Don't separate yourself. That'll only make you stand out as a vampire. Here, wear this amethyst bracelet. It'll keep you from burning in the sunlight. Why are you helping me? Aren't we in the same boat now? She was right. You're strong, Olivia. Really strong. That's a power not every vampire has. You know that, right? I blinked, remembering how I'd accidentally shattered the bathroom mirror with just a glance. Was I really more special than other vampires? In the days that followed, Celine taught me how to control my new instincts and powers, and we quickly became close. One afternoon, as we sat talking in the courtyard, a sudden chill crawled down my spine. But it was just a guy with dark hair and piercing blue eyes. I couldn't take my eyes off him. He was undeniably gorgeous. Oh my gosh, he's coming this way. What do I do, Celine? Wait, when did she disappear?
Mind if I sit here?
Sure, go ahead. My nerves instantly made me forget all my current worries.
I just moved here today. I'm Ethan.
Olivia, I can show you around.
No need. I just want to stay near you.
Huh?
I'm trying to avoid the bullies around here, you know? Walking alone makes you an easy target.
Oh, right. Well, with my superhuman strength now, I could easily protect him without breaking a sweat. But I needed to keep my powers hidden. As we talked, I found myself getting more and more drawn to him. Surprisingly, when I was around Ethan, I felt calm, like I didn't have to fight back the bloodlust. Could my feelings for him be growing so strong that I didn't want to hurt him? No, stop. Ethan is human. I can't let myself fall into this messy love. Later that day, I had to attend anatomy class, my worst nightmare ever since becoming a vampire. I sat in the back, as far from the specimens as possible, trying to keep my head down, fists clenched in my lap, trembling. As the teacher went over the muscle groups, I couldn't take it anymore. My fangs were about to extend. I glanced quickly at Ethan. His eyes flicked towards mine, but his expression was unreadable. Calm, almost emotionless, like he was watching me fall apart. I need to go! Not waiting for permission, I stood up so fast that I knocked my chair over and dashed out. I found a secluded corner behind the storage cabinets, trying to catch my breath. Ethan's cold gaze scared me. If he knew the truth, would he be disgusted by me? Olivia! I whipped around to see Celine standing a few feet away. She had appeared so silently, like a ghost materializing out of thin air. You can't lose control like that! Not here! Celine led me up to the mountain behind the school. I hadn't been back to this place since that terrifying night. We finally stopped at a clearing where a small wooden cabin stood. This is my place. It's far from everyone. Then she pointed deeper into the forest. You can hunt here as much as you need. Plenty of wildlife, whatever you need to quench your thirst. I closed my eyes and tuned into every movement, a rabbit hopping nearby or a deer on the far side of the mountain. Then I sensed a rival presence, a tiger also stalking that deer. But I snapped out of it. I couldn't hunt like some predator. I don't want to be like this. This is the best way to satisfy your hunger and to grow stronger. The thought of it made my skin crawl the whole way back home. I barely noticed Ethan until I was just a few steps away from him. He smiled at me like he could read the chaos I was trying to hide.
I ran over to check on you. You left in the middle of class.
You shouldn't be here. I'm fine. You don't need to worry about me.
Don't do that, Olivia.
Ethan stepped in front of me, blocking my way into the house. I needed to do something to end this complicated relationship once and for all. I grabbed his shoulders and shoved him hard, sending him to the ground. You don't understand. I'm dangerous. That's it. Just go! Without looking back, I slammed the door and collapsed. It was a while before I heard him walk away. As much as I wanted to call him back, I knew I couldn't. That night, as I lay in bed, the memories of being bitten resurfaced in my mind. Everything had happened so fast, but the more I thought about it, the clearer it became. It was right outside Celine's cabin where I was bitten that night. Ever since she showed up, Celine seemed to know way too much about vampires, constantly praising my strength like she was obsessed. What if she wasn't just helping me? What if she turned me into a vampire for her own reasons? The thought made my head spin. Could Celine be the one who bit me? Anger and suspicion bubbled up inside me. If Celine had really turned me into a vampire, she had ruined my life. And now I needed to know the truth. At midnight, I snuck up the mountain alone. The forest seemed to come alive in the darkness, shadows flitting between the trees, and I could feel every shift in the air. I sensed eyes on me, but when I glanced around, it was only a flock of crows, their black wings slicing through the moonlight. Standing in front of Celine's cabin, I knocked on the door, but there was no answer. Peering through the window, I saw the room was empty. She wasn't home. Just as I turned to leave, a flicker of movement in the distance caught my attention. It wasn't the wind, and it wasn't an animal. I glided over the grass. As I got closer, the air grew thick with dread, and then my eyes locked onto something horrifying. Something I never expected to see. I still remember that morning like it was yesterday. I had just woken up and was enjoying the sunshine on the balcony like every other day. What, the waffles? In front of me was an entire army of black-suited bodyguards lined up in the yard. There were so many of them I couldn't even count. From now on, these will be your personal bodyguards, Astrid. Get to know them. Hi, I'm Astrid from Missouri, USA, and yep, that was the first day of my journey being watched over by more than 200 bodyguards and trying desperately to find some freedom. I'll tell you the whole story, but first, don't forget to like and subscribe to MDA. My dad is a famous lawyer who has never lost a case thanks to his sharp and thorough arguments. Many clients trust him, but he also has a lot of enemies. One day, I got lost in the woods behind our house while chasing a white rabbit. Just when I was starting to panic, someone suddenly put a hand on my shoulder. OMG, you scared me! What do you want? Money, a Rolls Royce, or a penthouse?
Sorry, it looks like you're lost. Need some help? I know this forest pretty well.
It was then that I finally calmed down enough to take a good look at the guy. Long hair tied back, dark blue eyes that seemed to pierce through me, sleeves rolled up, revealing perfect arm muscles. He looked wild. Suddenly, my cheeks heated up and turned red in the most embarrassing way. I clearly remember him chuckling before gently taking my hand and leading me out. In no time, I saw my house in the distance with flashing police lights.
Here she is!
My parents rushed over and hugged me tightly. Oh, Astrid, my baby! Are you okay? Did they do anything to you? Turns out an anonymous threat had been sent to our family that very day. My parents were scared out of their wits when I disappeared. I tried to explain what had happened, but the hiking guy had already vanished without a trace. From then on, my parents insisted on hiring hundreds of bodyguards for me. On the first day of getting to know them, a familiar face flashed before my eyes. The hiking guy! It's him! The one who helped me out of the woods! Thank you so much! You really saved my parents, too. His expressionless face didn't change. Well, I guess all bodyguards are like that. Later, I found out his name was Tyler, one of the youngest bodyguards hired for his martial arts skills and excellent physical condition. Pretty cool, right? At first, having bodyguards around felt grand, like being a princess guarded and protected. But soon, it wasn't fun anymore. I became a prisoner under 24/7 surveillance. Wherever I went, the bodyguards were there, even when I was in the toilet. Let's talk about the time it went too far. That day, my school had a costume party, and of course I couldn't miss this chance to escape the bodyguards' watchful eyes. As if released, I immersed myself into the party and danced like crazy until I realized I stepped on a tuxedo guy. Oh, I'm so sorry. Are you okay?
Hurts a bit, but I'll bet it'll feel better if you agree to dance with me. Nice to meet you. I'm Theo.
I was a bit surprised, but didn't hesitate to take his hand. It was a party anyway. Just then, Tyler burst through the doors into the hall, leading a bunch of bodyguards who pushed everyone aside. In less than 5 seconds, they formed a solid barrier around me. The party came to an abrupt halt and everyone started booing. They searched everyone, even tasted the food and drinks to check for toxins. Worse, while I stood there not knowing what to do. So you're Astrid, Daddy's little girl, huh? Why don't you stay home and play by yourself? Look at the mess you've caused. Boo! Echoed around me. One classmate was so angry he almost threw a bucket of ice at me, but Tyler shielded me just in time and the other bodyguards quickly restrained the boy. I kept my head down all the way home. I can't tell if I'm being protected or imprisoned. No one dares to come near me.
Accepted, Astrid. Do you want me to quit my job or what? Now go to your room.
But Since that incident, the bodyguards became even stricter, making it even harder for me to sneak out. Once, I tried to escape through the bathroom vent but got intercepted by the bodyguards. Not giving up, I kept coming up with other tricks, like pretending to swallow a teaspoon and demanding to be rushed to the hospital. But the bodyguards immediately performed the Heimlich maneuver, making me almost puke out my entire breakfast. Another time at the supermarket, I kept zigzagging between the aisles until I finally escaped their sight. I was racing towards freedom when the supermarket suddenly became noisy and my bodyguards were blocking and checking every customer. With no other choice, I had to return obediently before the whole town got mad at me.
I don't understand why you keep resisting. We're just trying to ensure your safety.
Are you pretending to be stupid? Because of you guys, I have zero privacy!
It's dangerous out there, Astrid. Your parents do this because you mean everything to them.
Of course I know that! But does that mean I can't live a normal life like everyone else? I stormed off angrily, but then tripped over my shoelaces. Tyler caught me with his strong arm. Then he knelt down and calmly tied my shoelaces. I couldn't tell if my heart skipped a beat because of the fall or because of him. Snap out of it, Astrid! The next day, while I was eating alone in the cafeteria, someone approached me.
Hi, Astrid. Can I sit with you?
Before I could answer, Tyler suddenly stood in front of me, glaring at Theo. I had to quickly stop him. Yeah, sure. Sorry, don't mind them. You know my name?
I bet the whole school knows. Plus, we met at, the
party. Your name is Theo.
Oh, wow, you remember me?
We laughed out loud, recalling what happened at the party. Meanwhile, Tyler looked like he had something stuck in his butt. Theo and I gradually became close friends. I truly valued this friendship because he was the only one who dared to approach me despite the bodyguards. Theo is also very caring. He often texted me to check in, and sometimes I caught him staring at me. One weekend afternoon, Theo invited me out. He usually didn't care about the bodyguards, but this time he pleaded for a private date. I was torn, but then I came up with an idea. Please, Tyler, my parents won't let me go out alone, so why don't you tell them you'll be with me? Just you protecting me is enough.
And let you have a private date with that tuxedo guy? I refuse.
So what? You can come along. Just don't let him notice.
It's like being a third wheel on your date. I refuse.
Please, consider it making up for ruining my school party last time.
I was following orders, so there's nothing to make up for. I refuse.
Tyler, what is your problem? Or do you like me or something? Tyler froze and immediately looked flustered. What? You like me? For real?
I'll help you, but remember, if there's any danger, I'll show up right away, and you'll have to deal with him then.
Got it! The date with Theo went as planned. While walking home, Theo seemed unusually jittery, looking around nervously. Then suddenly, he grabbed my hand. Just then, headlights flashed and the sound of a motorbike roared towards me. In an instant, Theo pulled me towards him, dodging the bike, but simultaneously, I saw Tyler jump out and kick the biker's arm, making him swerve but still managed to speed away.
Are you okay, Astrid? Who are you? Her bodyguard. Move aside. Bodyguard? Astrid, I thought we wouldn't be bothered by them today.
I don't know. Maybe my parents secretly sent him to follow us? I'm sorry.
Go home, Astrid.
Wait, who are you? My dad?
I said go home now, or I'll drag this boy home with you to explain to your parents.
Tyler's threatening look gave me goosebumps. In the end, we decided to leave. Afterward, I argued with Tyler. Why did you do that to Theo?
I told you, I'll show up if there's any danger. Today's incident wasn't simple. You should be cautious with Theo.
Now it's not just my parents, but you too controlling my life? No one understands what I truly need! After that, I decided to lock myself until my parents got rid of all the bodyguards. But my stomach kept protesting. While I was fighting with my thoughts, someone knocked on my door. It was Tyler, with a bag of delicious-smelling food.
I thought someone might be hungry, so I brought some food.
I tried to pretend to be upset, but my stupid stomach let out a loud, "No!" So embarrassing. I had no choice but to fill my belly first.
I'm sorry about last night, Astrid. Actually, I think there's a way to get your parents to stop having bodyguards follow you 24/7. You need to learn self-defense. I'll teach you.
What do you mean? Like kung fu or karate?
No, that would take forever. Just simple defense, like...
Tyler moved closer and gently placed his hand on my neck.
If someone tries to choke you, You need to know how to break their grip.
Gosh, the closer I looked, the more handsome he seemed. To top it off, Tyler wiped some crumbs off my mouth, and I felt my heart explode like a firework. I actually learned some self-defense moves from Tyler. We spent a lot of time training and talking, and my feelings for him grew stronger. I realized I'd fallen for Tyler without even knowing it. One day, Theo invited me over to his house for dinner. Since our last date was cut short, I agreed. After successfully performing some self-defense moves and begging until I was hoarse, my parents finally softened and let me go. That evening at Theo's house, I met his mom and older brother. As we sat down for dinner, I noticed a bruise on his brother's arm and started to feel like he looked familiar. Oh no, he was the defendant who lost a case against my dad in court a few years ago. My gut told me something was very wrong. I needed to call Tyler, but my phone was in my bag, hanging on a hook far away. Suddenly, Theo's brother grabbed my wrist and gave a sinister smile. This was bad. I immediately tried to use the self-defense moves I learned, but I clearly wasn't strong enough to fight off a man. He picked up a baseball bat from the corner and demanded Theo use his phone to record me. He wanted to blackmail my dad. Theo, help me! We're best friends, right?
This girl is feisty, just like your loudmouth dad. Just sit tight and wait until he hands over $1 million. Then you can do whatever you want.
While he was distracted, I quickly kicked the bat away and threw a hot bowl of soup in his face.
Ouch, that's hot!
I ran to find an escape, but both the front and back doors were locked. In the critical moment, I saw Tyler's silhouette outside the window. He signaled for me to step back, preparing for his signature move, kicking in the window. With a few swift moves, he had the villain on the ground like a rug. I realized then that the bruise on the man's arm was from Tyler kicking him during the motorcycle accident. Just as Tyler said, it was a setup to make me trust Theo more. Theo cried a lot and kept apologizing to me. I was angry, but also felt sorry for him. After all, Theo was my first best friend. Maybe I could ask my dad to help reduce his sentence? From this incident, I truly understood my parents' worries about the dangers lurking out there, and Tyler was right. Becoming stronger was the way to reassure them about me. Too bad you didn't get to see my crazy martial arts moves earlier.
Why don't you think I was watching outside and giving you a chance to shine?
Then you're terrible. You sacrificed my safety.
I'm just kidding. But Astrid, I want you to know, no matter when or where, I'll always be there to protect you when you need me, okay?
The engine roared, tearing through the quiet street. I gripped the handlebars tightly, feeling the tires screeching on the road.
Find her at all costs. If not, the boss will kill us.
The headlights from the motorcycles of the black-clad men behind me flickered in the rearview mirror. I gritted my teeth, revved the engine, determined not to let them catch up.
Boss lady! Boss lady!
Hi, I'm Veronica, 16 years old, growing up in a powerful gangster family. My dad is a notorious kingpin of an organization that controls real estate across the region, and my brother Kevin is his right-hand man. I'm the apple of the family's eye, which means I have everything. At school, I'm the queen bee. Whenever students see me, they part like the Red Sea, and there's always someone willing to do my homework. However, I have my own troubles. No one dares to confess their feelings for me. They like me, but are scared off by my dad and brother. The only exception is Travis, the one my family approves of. His dad is my dad's business partner, also a well-known gangster, but now in prison. Travis adores me, but I only see him as an older brother. For the past 2 months, I've been secretly dating this guy, Jack. He's my first love. For our 2-month anniversary, I decided to be romantic and bought a cake to surprise him at his house. But when I got there, I saw Jack making out with another girl. Jack! How could you?
Please don't tell your family. They'll kill me. I beg you.
Coward! I went home heartbroken to find Kevin lounging on the sofa. He boasted that he'd heard the news and had already dealt with Jack for me. What? Ugh, I stormed up to my room. Why do they always act on their own? Now look, people only listen to us out of fear, not respect or love. If this continues, I'll grow old and never find true love. No, I need to change. I searched online for some girly outfits and watched some ladylike etiquette courses, but oh my gosh, gross. Frustrated, I stormed out on my motorbike, not forgetting to throw an angry comment at my dad and Kevin. I'm sick of this family! I gripped the handlebars and sped off, but soon my dad's henchmen were on my tail. I couldn't let them catch me. I revved the engine and turned into an alley, but hit a dead end. I ditched the bike and ran as fast as I could. Suddenly, someone grabbed me and pulled me into a dark corner.
I'll save you.
What? Who are you? He pressed me against the wall and kissed me. The henchman rushed past without noticing us, his broad frame hiding me. You have to take responsibility for kissing me.
I'm sorry, I just saw it in the movies. I don't have anything to pay you back.
I couldn't help but laugh, finding this guy adorable and clumsy. Stay with me. That's enough. I ended up telling him about Jack and my messed up love story. Coincidentally, he had just broken up with his girlfriend too. Do you think I'm too aggressive?
Yes, no, you're fine.
I think I need to change myself to find love.
Love doesn't mean changing who you are. I tried to change, but my girlfriend still left. Just be yourself, but a better version.
In that moment, I felt my heart flutter a bit. This nerd was surprisingly deep. Our conversation was interrupted by his phone ringing.
I have to go now.
Let me give you a ride. Ignoring his protests, I lifted him onto my bike. I sped down the road, his face frozen in fear, unable to speak. Silly guy.
What's wrong with you?
You just gave me some hope. I'm tired of being a mafia princess.
What? You're what?
Ever heard of Mr. Sanchez? That's my dad. Then he suddenly insisted on getting off the bike and ran into a narrow alley before I could chase after him. I looked down and saw a name tag on the ground. Archie, 17 years old, West Point High School? Same school as me? That's fate. He's gotta be mine. The next morning, I tracked down his class using the name tag. You're Archie, right? I'm Veronica. Don't even think about running away. I want you to be my friend. Actually, my boyfriend.
No way. We're too different.
Yesterday you told me to be myself. Now you're backing out? What the waffles? Want to get punched? Seeing Archie all scared, I decided to switch up my strategy the next day. I had my lackeys at school bring food to Archie, even making me feed him. But uh-oh, I didn't know Archie was allergic to peanuts and now his face was all puffed up like a chipmunk. Another time, I staged a fake bullying scene so I could swoop in and play the hero. Everything was going smoothly until one of them actually kicked me.
Boss, did we do it right?
These idiots. I struggled to get up, but Archie quickly helped me.
Why go to such lengths? I was going to ask you out for coffee to thank you for all the food you sent. How about Saturday?
Is this a confession? Maybe not. Who cares? We met at Baskin-Robbins and oh my gosh, Archie was so sweet. He asked about my family, my dad's hobbies, my brother's interests, and mine. While we were eating, we both reached for a spoon at the same time and our hands touched. I noticed Archie blushing, but he quickly pulled his hand back. Aw, is this a good sign or what? And there's something else. Everywhere I went, I seemed to bump into Archie. At parties with my friends, on my way home, and even at the grocery store. We must be destined for each other. So the next day I went big. I got on the school stage and announced over the loudspeaker, "Hey everyone, from today on, Archie Murphy is my boyfriend, and no one is allowed to touch him." But before I could finish, Archie dragged me to a corner.
Why do you always make decisions on your own? Is that how your family always imposes on others? This is unbelievable.
I was speechless, a wave of shame washing over me. Tears streamed down my face. I ran behind the school and cried under a tree until it started raining.
You dummy. We're not done talking.
He sat down next to me and draped his jacket over us. "Why are you here? You yelled at me. You were so loud."
I care about you.
Fake! I tried to pull away, but he grabbed my hand.
I've liked you since the day we met. It's just that I felt insecure because your family's so powerful. I was scared I wasn't good enough for you.
He pulled me close and kissed me. The guy I liked kissed me. Aren't you scared of my gangster family?
Scared of gangsters? Yes, but I'm more scared of losing you.
We ran in the rain and it seemed to wash away all my earlier sadness. From that day on, we became a couple. Archie and I texted every day and met during breaks just to exchange a quick kiss. One day, he invited me to the bar where he worked. I didn't know this nerdy guy was a part-time bartender. So cool. That night, I dressed up nicely and went to the bar. And there were Kevin and Travis. Panicking, I was about to turn and leave when Archie called out,
"Hey, babe!"
I wanted to sink into the ground.
Veronica? You're Archie's girlfriend?
Thankfully, Kevin didn't object. He said he was a regular at the bar and had talked to Archie many times, so he knew Archie was a good guy. The only one upset was Travis.
So, that's why you've been ignoring my messages, huh?
He stormed off. What else could I do? One day, I was home alone. I was dozing off when I heard the sound of a door being forced open in the next room. I quietly got out of bed and was shocked to see someone rummaging through the room. Without hesitation, I charged at him, using all my strength to attack. One solid punch knocked him to the ground. I turned on the light and couldn't believe my eyes. Archie? Archie, why are you here? That's when I discovered my boyfriend's true identity. Archie was an undercover agent investigating my family.
Your dad is involved in a major smuggling operation, and I was assigned to investigate.
What? My dad? Smuggling? No way! From our first meeting to all those coincidental encounters I thought were fate, it was all a setup, wasn't it?
Yes, I approached you initially to gather information. But Veronica...
Get out, Archie. I don't want to see you ever again. Archie stood there looking at me for a long moment before silently leaving. I slammed the door shut behind him, tears streaming down my face. My love and trust had been betrayed so cruelly. I avoided Archie at all costs. We became strangers. Not long after, my dad and Kevin were arrested, but before being taken away, he insisted he was innocent. Only Travis was there quietly comforting me.
See? I warned you about that Archie guy. 20 kilograms of contraband. That's a hefty sentence.
How do you know it's 20 kilograms? The police haven't officially announced it.
I heard it from a confidential source.
Something didn't feel right. It seemed like Travis was hiding something from me. That night, unable to sleep with all the thoughts swirling in my head, I went for a walk in the yard and heard someone talking. What do I do now? Erase all the security footage from this month? I'm scared. It was Dad's accountant. She looked terrified, shaking like a leaf. Something was definitely off. I dashed over and snatched the phone, but the call had already ended. Spill it. Who were you talking to? I'm so sorry. I was threatened. He made me put the smuggling documents in your dad's cabinet and delete all the security footage from his office, or else he would expose me for embezzlement. I don't want to go to jail. I have kids. I was wrong. Please forgive me. Who is he? Tell me everything. I don't know. We only talked over the phone. We met once in person at a stall in the market. Following her directions, I hurried to the market. Walking in, I couldn't believe my eyes. Travis was standing there. I can't believe it! My family trusted you!
Oh, so you found out. No need to keep pretending then.
But why? Why would you do this?
Are you serious? Playing dumb, huh? Your dad's the one who put my father in jail.
What are you talking about? Your dad brought it on himself.
Shut up!
I tried to slap him back, but he grabbed my wrist.
Alright, you have two choices. Marry me and we'll start over, or die here.
I choose neither! I fought back, kicking him hard, but he was too strong, knocking me out quickly. I stared at the deceitful scumbag in front of me, feeling helpless and choked with anger. Sorry, Dad. Sorry, Kevin. I failed you.
That's enough!
Archie appeared out of nowhere like a hero, kicking Travis to the ground. They fought, but Archie's skills as an agent gave him the upper hand, and he managed to tie Travis up.
I think the perfect place for you is jail. I won't let this slide! I swear!
Ignoring his threats, Archie came over to me gently.
Are you okay, Veronica?
How did you know to come here?
After your dad was arrested, I felt something was off, so I decided to investigate on my own, without my superior's orders. And I was worried about you, so I followed you here.
Travis was sentenced soon after, and thankfully Dad and Kevin were cleared of all charges. All thanks to Archie. Needless to say, Dad and Kevin couldn't stop praising Archie, constantly calling him their future son-in-law. And it came true.
Aren't you curious who your future husband really is? An agent? A nerd? Or something else? You used to ask me that every day.
Stop talking and kiss me already. Ready or not, I'm coming to find you. If I tag anyone, they're gonna be it next. Ouch! Holy mama, my Dior dress! Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Here, let me help you. Don't you dare touch my dress with your grubby hands, you! Just then, I hear the nearby crowd start to whisper. Everyone's paying attention to us.
Let it go. It's just a dress. A wash will clean it right up.
The foster home goddess didn't do anything wrong. That other girl is just nasty. I'm sorry, Get lost! Don't play saint! You're so fake! She's so mean. I was just trying to help. Hello, MDA audience. I'm Amelia. About the foster home goddess? What a weird title, right? But it's true. They started calling me that a few months ago. People started to know me after a short video posted online about the city's mayor financially supporting the foster home where I lived.
This girl is so beautiful. She looks like a goddess. The foster home goddess.
There you go. That's how the title started, but I don't feel proud or anything. If anything, it's a hassle.
Amelia, let's go home. The mayor will be visiting us soon.
Oh, right. Let's head back. When we got back, the mayor was about to make a speech on the podium. Why are you late? I have important news. Mr. Cooper decided to...
I've decided to adopt Amelia.
Wait, what? Did I hear that right? Am I being adopted by Mr. Cooper? He's the kindest and most genuine person I've ever met.
Come here, sweetheart. I hope you'll be very happy in your new home.
And just like that, I followed Mr. Cooper, who was now my dad, to my new home. Why would you clean my room without permission? Don't dare piss me off again.
Calm down, Evelyn. Sit down and let me introduce my daughter.
When our eyes met, I knew there would be a lot of trouble ahead. Evelyn, that annoying girl from the park, is Mr. Cooper's daughter? We had a feud, and now we're going to live together in the same house? I'm going to lose my mind! What's this?
Evelyn, mind your manners. This is Amelia, and from now on, she'll be living with us.
You just do whatever you think is right. I have my own life. It's best we don't interfere with each other. Fake.
My apologies. She doesn't mean to be like this.
After unpacking, I walked around to get familiar with my new house. I passed by a room with an open door, where there were lots of large pictures hanging. It was Evelyn with a woman. Turned out it was a family photo, but Mr. Cooper's face was heavily scribbled with red ink. Why would she... As I picked up the diary, I discovered it was Evelyn's, and I accidentally found out the truth. Evelyn was actually very pitiful. Her mother, Mr. Cooper's wife, died in childbirth, and they couldn't save the baby either. That's why she hated her father, who forced her mother to have another child. So she has another reason to hate me. But just like me, Evelyn was an abandoned child. In the following days, I tried to start a conversation with Evelyn, but she always ignored me. Faker! Moving homes meant I had to transfer to a new school and be in the same class as Evelyn. I set a goal to make friends with her. Standing in front of the large school gate, I took a deep breath and stepped in. I saw the cheerful students sitting below. They seemed very friendly, waving at me. Allow me to introduce y'all to Amelia, our goddess. Honestly, I was surprised by Evelyn's action and attitude. Was there some sort of magic potion that changed her attitude overnight? Hello, Amelia!
You two seem really close, huh?
Evelyn led me back to a seat and pushed me gently down onto the chair. But the moment my body touched the seat, it shattered into pieces. OMG, I found myself sitting right in a bucket of red paint. Everyone starts laughing hysterically. If I showed fear or weakness right now, for sure more incidents like this would keep happening. And I realized I couldn't get close to Evelyn this way. So I mustered my courage, stood up, walked over to Evelyn, and straight up sat in her lap. Everyone around was shocked by the move, Evelyn included. You've got some guts, Amelia. Right then, the teacher walked into the class and spotted the chaos we just caused. Mr. Cooper, my dad, was informed about the whole situation, about our squabbles and the fight in class, and how Evelyn was the one who started everything.
You're grounded for 2 weeks for embarrassing me.
What about Amelia?
The principal has already briefed me. You and your rambunctious friends are all suspended for 2 weeks. We're just lucky the press hasn't gotten wind of this.
That's not fair! I hardly ran into Evelyn the following days, even at home. She'd holed up in her room and seemed to avoid me. I really didn't think things would take such a bad turn. 2 weeks went by and Evelyn returned to school. She became quieter. Though she still hung out with her old crew, they no longer picked on me. What was she thinking? I really wanted to know. Evelyn even started treating me really well out of the blue. Thanks.
If it had been like this from the start, wouldn't that have been nice?
I gave Evelyn a smile, and oddly enough, she smiled back at me. For the first time. Evelyn and I started to grow closer at school. 2 weeks later, both Evelyn and I signed up for the drama club. Things were going great during the first few sessions, until the third one.
Today we're learning stage fighting. It's a type of acting where it looks like you're fighting, but you're not. It's commonly used in movies.
After a while, Evelyn and I were paired up. The scenario was that of an old woman encountering a thief on the street, and we had to act out the old woman fighting off the thief, but without actually fighting. Okay, so I'll be the old woman and you'll be the thief. Deal? Deal! I was given a wig and a wooden cane. This being the first time performing in front of the class, I was pretty nervous.
3, 2, 1, action!
It's a beautiful day today. Hand over your money. What? Who? Who are you? I'm a thief. Hand over the money. Then, unexpectedly, Evelyn pushed me on my waist, causing me to jolt. Instinctively, I spun around, swinging the wooden cane into the air.
Okay, cut. That's not the script.
But Evelyn just lay there motionless, her face down. Evelyn, the teacher said we need to redo the scene. Amelia hit me! Amelia hit me for real! What? Oh my god, she's bleeding! Everyone, including the teacher, rushed over. The room descended into chaos. You'll have to let me explain. She's bleeding, don't you see? I didn't hit her, I swear. You have to believe me. No, don't hit me.
Are you doing this out of revenge?
What? I didn't...
Everyone saw what happened.
Hurry up! She needs to see a doctor! I thought we could become friends. What? But I didn't... Come on! I was immediately called into the principal's office afterward, and of course, Mr. Cooper was there. I was blamed for hitting his own daughter.
Amelia, do you have an explanation?
I didn't do...
All right. Thanks to Mr. Cooper's benevolence here, and for your own good, the school has decided not to pursue this incident.
But...
I apologize, Mr. Cooper, for this incident. You can leave now.
Although the whole thing was ultimately deemed an accident, everyone in class still isolated me. How could you hit Ellie with a cane like that? It's brutal!
We've only been friends for a few weeks. Do you intend to harm anyone else in our group?
Days later, the atmosphere in the house was still thick with tension. Mr. Cooper was caught up in his upcoming election campaign, and Evelyn and I weren't speaking anymore. I really wanted to know why she was treating me like this. I was about to break the silence when Evelyn abruptly stood up and left. Isn't there any way to break the wall between Evelyn and me? Oh! I'm sorry, I didn't know you were in there. Evelyn was clutching at her fake wound. I wasn't surprised. I knew I hadn't hurt her. I just needed an explanation from her. I know. I figured it all out. Why didn't you expose me? And what good would that do? We don't need to hurt each other. I've known your whole story. Evelyn looked at me, her eyes welling up. We're similar. We both lack family affection. But you still have a father. Appreciate that. Upon hearing me mention Mr. Cooper, Evelyn let out a bitter laugh. That man, he's not as great as you think. He's truly a fraud. What was she talking about? Was there some secret I didn't know about this family? Have you ever thought why he adopted you? I thought Mr. Cooper had taken me in out of love. But turns out, I was just a pawn in his sinister plan. Seeing that I was loved by everyone, he used me as a stepping stone to raise his reputation in the upcoming election. Follow me! I followed Evelyn and we sneaked into Mr. Cooper's office. We found a bunch of documents proving he was bribing people for votes. Documents about the foster home? Yes! If he wins the election, he'll stop funding the orphanage. He might even tear it down to build a shopping mall. So we were all just his puppets. The man I thought was kind turned out to be the villain in the story. Suddenly, the door burst open and Mr. Cooper stormed in.
What are you kids doing? Why are you meddling with my documents?
As I raised the document folder, his face turned white. He screamed and lunged at me, trying to snatch the folder. He looked as fierce as a wild animal.
Hand it over.
I threw the folder to Evelyn, and she hesitated.
Evelyn, give it to me, my dear daughter.
you!
You ungrateful brats!
Mr. Cooper lunged at Evelyn again, but she was quicker. We grabbed the folder and ran out of there. After we left, I asked Evelyn about her next plans. I guess I'll go to another country. What about you? I'm turning 18 soon. I'll try to earn money to support the kids at the foster home. That does make you the foster home goddess, doesn't it? Enough with the jokes. What about this? I said, raising the folder. After a long pause, Evelyn decided to turn them over to the police. Mr. Cooper had to pay for what he did to the community and his own family. Days later, we heard that everything was exposed and Mr. Cooper was arrested. I felt a weight lifted off my shoulders. I gave Evelyn a tight hug before saying goodbye. I hope she would have a beautiful life. After being rejected by the record labels, I walked home and soon noticed a strange man was following me. Don't say, that's a pervert? I immediately ran away. He also chased after me.
Wait!
He kept clinging to me. I can't run anymore.
Hey, lady!
Pervert!
Oh, no, I'm a producer.
He hurriedly handed out a business card. Andrew Wilson, music producer?
Yes. Your voice is as beautiful as Taylor Swift's. May I invite you to visit my label?
So that was the reason why he chased after me. I took Andrew's card without knowing my life would change forever. Hello, MDA audience. My name is Riley Cooper. Let's stay tuned and follow my story. I was born in a family of country singers in Tennessee. Ever since I was little, I had been passionate about singing and always dreamed of becoming a famous singer like my idol Taylor Swift. When I turn 18, I will follow my dream. After graduating from high school, I went to New York alone to find a record label for a song that I wrote myself. But all the labels that I found refused me because they didn't know who I was. Please, give me a chance. I swear I can do it.
I'm sorry.
In the blink of an eye, my dream was shattered. I just wandered on New York Street without a destination. No one wants to hear you sing, Riley. No one! I stopped by the side of the road, not in the mood to go home. So I decided to sing one last time. I picked up my guitar and sang. To my surprise, a few passerby noticed me and they started to stop to listen. She sings so beautifully.
You're right.
Their cheers had pulled me from despair. I was just immersed in my own song ever since. They dropped money into my guitar case with encouraging words which really touched my heart. Thanks to them, I found hope again. Yes, I must be persistent in pursuing my dream. After putting my guitar in the case, I walked home. Then, I suddenly felt someone following me. What happened after that, you saw at the beginning of the video. Anyway, after receiving Andrew's business card, I went to a studio for a visit. Is that Taylor Swift? I was astonished to see the picture of Andrew with my idol Taylor.
It's nothing. It was just a small project.
Are you kidding? This is freaking cool! I was excited to go around and have a tour. While I was looking around, I bumped into a girl. Oh, sorry. Hey, is your head in the clouds or something? She got mad and pushed me. This mean girl. She was pushed by me. Right behind her was the speaker wires. 1, 2, 3. The speakers were also dragged by her and fell to the ground. Ah!
Morgan, are you okay?
Who is this country girl?
Keep it together. Let's go inside to prepare for your recording session.
She left in a state of displeasure. Andrew told me that her name was Morgan, a hot influencer with 2 million followers on Instagram and 5 million followers on TikTok. And now she's the brightest star of Premium Records. That's why she looks so familiar. Only then did I notice Andrew's face. Oh no, I just got into a fight with hot influencer Morgan. Does that mean that I'm over? Sir Andrew, I didn't mean it. It was because...
Oh, I see. Don't worry. Miss Riley, the reason why I invited you here was because I wanted to sign an exclusive contract with you. What do you think?
Are you kidding me?
I'm totally serious about it.
I'd love to.
Great. Now let me discuss with you more.
So I signed with Premium Records, aka Andrew's record label. Well, to record my songs, I spent all the $2,000 that I saved up 2 years ago. But I think it was completely worth it. Being Andrew's exclusive singer, I would receive a lot of benefits and favors. Not only would I release an album the following month, but I would also get beauty treatments, free clothes, and a private car to pick me up like a real superstar. Besides, I would also get to take photo shoots for magazines.
Okay, now let me introduce you. This is the producer that's gonna work with you on this album. Sup, I'm James.
James looked over my song and picked up his pen to correct it. Wait, who are you to fix my song?
Hey, listen, young lady. I'm the one who will make your song a hit.
Huh? This guy was so arrogant. I wanted to argue more, but Andrew signaled me to stay calm. Pardon? Which part did you want to fix? Okay, it's true that I didn't really like James at first, but I had to admit that he's talented. James carefully pointed out where in my song that needed to be improved and helped me fix them. That actually sounded better.
Okay, time to record.
We moved to the studio. Andrew was also there. Andrew turned to say something to James while James looked at me goggle-eyed, but the recording process still went smoothly.
Should I tell her? I will tell her myself.
Tell me what?
Hey, beautiful. Nothing. I just wanted to say your new song will be released next month.
Really?
Of course. Now go and choose the gorgeous outfits you want. James, you have a good taste, so you should go with her.
I was so excited that I didn't wait for James to speak before I rushed inside. These outfits were so pretty.
Put that down.
He immediately stopped me as I picked up the neon dress. That dress was stunning. James went through the wardrobe, then picked out a dress and handed it to me.
You try this.
Okay. I went to change into the dress that James chose. When I walked out, James was almost overwhelmed. What's wrong?
Nothing's wrong.
After choosing outfits, we also went to the spa. My dream is about to come true. I'm so happy. Thanks to you, James. You helped me complete the song.
I did help a bit, but you did it yourself. Congrats.
After the spa, Andrew told me to just go home and wait for good news. However, 2 weeks later, I still had not received a reply from him. This worried me so much. Is there something wrong with the album? I went to the studio to meet Andrew, but he was gone, so I had to go home. On the way back, I stopped at a record store. Then a familiar tune came through the speakers. Is that my song? I was utterly surprised. When did Andrew release it? Why didn't he let me know? I was so excited that I grabbed someone nearby and yelled in joy. That's my song!
What did you say? That's Morgan's song.
Wow, is this Morgan's debut song? She sings so well. I felt like I was struck by lightning when I heard them speak. That's when I noticed the album Dream on the shelf with a picture of Morgan on it. I panicked, my mind suddenly spinning. No, I'm the singer. This is my album. What's wrong with you? You're not Morgan. Don't you take her credit. I'm telling the truth. Morgan stole my song. Knock it off. How dare you say Morgan stole your song? Then they started laughing at me. My heart was beating so fast that I could barely breathe. Shock, anger, and resentment. All emotions overflowed, causing tears out of my eyes. I took the album with me and immediately went back to Premium Records. I definitely get to the bottom of things. What is this? Andrew didn't seem to be surprised when he saw the album on the table. What made me even more infuriated was that Morgan, the one who stole my song, was equally indifferent. Andrew whispered something, then Morgan went out of the room. I questioned Andrew, but he said that this album should be recorded by someone with a reputation to boost sales.
Riley, listen, I have an even better offer for you.
And that is?
I want you to be the background singer for Morgan in the upcoming live stage.
I beg your pardon? I tried to stay calm to listen to him, but I didn't expect him to say this.
If you don't say yes, you will have to pay $200,000.
What? This is not in the contract? Andrew held out the contract. I swear I never saw this term before, but now it's right here in the contract.
If you want to be a famous singer, There must be trade-offs, Riley.
Now I understand I have fallen into Andrew's trap. Facing Andrew's threat, I had no choice but to accept his offer. After the conversation, I left with tears in my eyes. As soon as I got to the door, I saw James standing there. His unfazed expression made me realize something. You knew everything, didn't you?
Riley,
You fooled me around. A bunch of scammers. Yet I thought he was a nice guy. It was all a lie. After that, James texted and phoned me several times, but I didn't bother to answer him. Morgan's performance day finally came. I was arranged to stand back in the curtain while Morgan was in the front of the stage. Andrew kept forcing me to laugh.
Come on. You said that singing was your dream, didn't you?
I hesitated. The music was on, and I started to sing. Morgan on stage also lip-synced. I hypnotized myself that those cheers were for me, so I could continue the song. Then all of a sudden, the curtain slowly opened. I had no idea what was going on.
What is this? Why is there someone else on stage? What is happening?
I was so freaked out that I forgot to sing.
OMG! Is Morgan lip-syncing? She is! Boo! Boo!
Only now did Morgan realize something was off. She could only smile and wave her arms to cover it up, but it was too late. All she did was to run off the stage in shame. Andrew was also ashamed because of what was happening. I panicked and left in a hurry. What I didn't expect, however, was that the spotlight followed me, and all people's eyes were on me.
The real singer behind the album Dream is not Morgan, but that girl.
It was chaotic in the room, yet the show must go on, so I was called up to the stage. It was at that moment that I really felt like I was singing. I knew after my performance I would have to face a lot of troubles, but I just wanted to finish my song. My performance turned out to be an unexpected success. The audience applauded even more enthusiastically than when Morgan performed. James was now waiting for me at the stage wing. His eyes seemed to be begging for forgiveness. I was still so mad at him that I went over and pushed him, but he suddenly hugged me.
I should have told you from the start. You can hit me how much you want. I deserve it. I'm sorry, Riley.
James cried and said that he was extremely ashamed that he didn't tell me about the background singer thing back then. After it happened, he thought and struggled for a long time.
I know it's late now, but I can't stand watching you sing in the background for Morgan. You deserve more than that. You're the best singer I've ever worked with.
James's words touched my heart. At this point, I realized that having my voice recognized was so much better than being famous. I hugged James too. Thank you for your recognition, James. Finally, with James's testimony, Andrew had to confess everything. Approaching me was just a show to make me sing for Morgan, and that influencer girl didn't even know how to sing. Premium Records was turned out to be an illegal record label. The collaboration thing was also a complete lie.
I've never collaborated with Taylor Swift. I just photoshopped that picture to lure amateur singers.
I realized how gullible I was to fall into their trap. Luckily, I finally got rid of it before things got worse.
That day was a free day. I hung around the mall and focused my attention on trendy eyewear. Haha, it was. As I expected, the sirens blared loudly and 2 guards came to control. Release me! They took me to a room. Later, my father's assistant arrived with a thick envelope. This is a little gift as compensation for damage. Hope you accept it. It was done. Just a little money and I was released so easily. Hi, I'm Helen, 17 years old. My father was a successful businessman and always busy with his work and didn't care about me. To get his attention, I tried to make troubles and let him solve them. After being caught, my busy father got really angry and transferred me to a school far away from the city to get out of his sight. On the first day of school, my father's assistant and I met the principal in the office. The principal said in a bossy voice, "With Helen's profile, I don't think the school can accept it. Unless..." However, the assistant immediately understood and opened the suitcase. Inside was a lot of money, and I was accepted into the school. While the principal was busy counting the money, I decided to steal the gilded pen before entering the boarding school. I I was shocked after seeing that this room wasn't even half the size of my room. Only 2 single beds, a wardrobe, and a desk. Really? I had to share this tiny room with another? Before I could react, the principal came in and gave me a new uniform and confiscated my phone. What a horrible school! I decided to go to the rooftop to play truant. As soon as I got there, I heard a menacing voice. "Peter, don't you have anything for us today?" I looked around and found a gentle boy being pushed against the wall by a group of thugs. No matter how regular the school was, it was just beautiful outside but rotten inside. I had to relieve him, but I couldn't beat all of them. An idea came across. I stood in the distance and shouted, "Principal's coming! Everyone run!" As I thought, these cowardly thugs immediately scattered. Haha! I reached out my hand to pull Peter up, but the floor was so slippery because of the rain yesterday, I fell on him. OMG! The awkward atmosphere made both him and I blush. We stood up shyly. He said, "Oh, hi, I'm Peter. Sorry for that trouble." After getting to know him, I complained to Peter that I didn't like the school at all. Suddenly, Peter said, "If you're Helen Wilson, you have to love this school." With that, Peter led me to the hallway that was stocked with trophies and awards. He pointed to a photo and said, "Hey, look, Richter Wilson, a former basketball star and a bright role model for the whole school." OMG! This was a picture of my parents kissing after winning the basketball cup when they were young. I was surprised. My mother passed away at a very young age. My father was always busy making me feel lonely all the time. The photo reminded me of my mother, so I decided to take it away. Every day the picture would always be by my side. It turned out that in the past, my mother was the captain of the cheerleading team. I wanted to be like her, so the next day I went to the practice room. Although I had never tried practicing, but with the flexibility and agility of many stealing times, I was chosen as an official member. That day, me and the cheering team would have a performance with a prestigious golden trophy as a reward. When I was preparing to go on stage, suddenly the principal and a group of people rushed over. "The golden trophy's gone. This contest must stop quickly." The news made everyone panic. Why was it lost right that time? Saying that, the principal checked all the students one by one. She approached me. "Helen, I know you have a history of petty theft. If you take it, return it quickly and you will be forgiven." At the baseless accusation, I angrily shouted, "I've never seen the trophy. How can I steal it?" God darn it! She was getting more and more crazy by constantly blaming me for stealing the trophy. She grabbed my backpack and dumped everything out. And of course, her gilded pen fell out along with the family photo. The principal raised her voice and shouted, "This pen's mine. You've stolen it. And this picture is also the property of the school." I struggled to argue. This is a picture of my parents. I have the right to keep it. However, she looked at me with a cunning look and shouted, "Helen Wilson's a thief. I'll never forgive this." I angrily grabbed it, but her entourage stopped me. People around me kept blaming me for taking the trophy and no one believed me. I burst into tears and ran out of the hall. After that, the principal postponed all events, including the Halloween party, until the golden trophy was found. Halloween was the most awaited event of the year for students, so this announcement made the whole school search for the trophy frenziedly. Unfortunately, the whole school thought I was the culprit. No one wanted to be near me. That night, I went to find Peter in the hallway of the dormitory. "Peter, you have to help me. I can't be isolated for what I didn't do." "I don't think you do this either." "Should I go to the principal's office and find clues?" "I can't go with you. Don't go there. It's dangerous." Although Peter prevented me, I still ran to the school office alone, where the trophy had been located. Sneaking in, I turned on the flashlight and looked for any clues. All of a sudden, I discovered a button that had fallen off near the cup holder. Suddenly, there was a strange noise. Afraid of being discovered, I picked up the button and put it in my pocket, then ran away. In the following days, Peter and I continuously followed the principal, but there was nothing strange. I said to Peter, "Tonight I'll sneak into the principal's. I'm sure I'll find something." Despite Peter's objections, I sneakily opened the door to the principal's office that night. Searching for a while with no results, I was about to return, but suddenly the bookshelf opened. OMG! It was filled with precious gold items, including the trophy. Yes, I finally found it! I quickly ran away to call everyone to come when suddenly the sirens rang. Caught ya. It was Peter. What the heck was he doing? Surprise, little princess. Peter is my son. OMG! Turns out everything I knew about Peter was a lie. It was all the principal's plan to trap me from arranging for Peter to appear to this. At that time, all the students came over because of the sirens. The principal silently closed her secret drawer. Peter caught Helen stealing the trophy, and she was about to blame me. The news made everyone nervous. Having said that, the principal asked them to disperse, then said to me, Helen, you should give me more money. If not, you can't continue to learn in this school. I looked at her arrogant face angrily. Just finished a business trip, my father appeared to solve the case. Daddy, you have to believe me. Do you still want to cause more trouble? Having said that, my father turned to show a warm attitude to the principal. Come on, madam. We can deal with it, right? I knew for sure he would give money again to cover it up, but not this time. I won't let him meddle in this anymore. I didn't steal. I want to use the truth to solve it. Do you still deny? I also have a video of you sneaking into the room to return the trophy. She took out a hidden camera the day I went to her office. The video recorded me picking up something. Oh, the button! I remembered finding it in the office. Dad, I found this button at the office. I'm sure I'll find the real culprit. At this time, the principal hid her hand with a pale face. I pulled her hand and discovered a sleeve button similar to the one I had found. She was scared and pushed us away to run away. Unfortunately, she didn't pay attention and hit the assistant, then fell to the ground, and Peter was kept by the security. Dad realized I wasn't the thief, and he regretted for misunderstanding me. I'm sorry. Since your mother died, I have worked hard just to make up for you. Hearing those words, I hugged him tightly and sobbed. In the end, the principal and his son were suspended and expelled from school. What about me and my dad? Now we're trying to mend our relationship. After all, family is still everyone's fulcrum, right?
During class that day, the teacher was writing a question on the board. Which country suffered economically from Nazi Germany? Sophia? I trembled, half closed my eyes and pointed randomly at the map. My finger touched England. It was a wrong answer, but somehow everyone applauded me. When I opened my eyes, I saw that I was touching this instead. Correct. Well done. What? My homeroom teacher had shifted the map so I answered correctly. When no one noticed, she punished me by sternly hitting my butt with her teaching stick. Ouch! Mom, not again! Hi, I'm Sophia, and I'm 17 years old. Before I tell you my story, please like and subscribe. I'm just an ordinary girl with a poor academic record. But unlike everyone else, I have a mom who was a teacher at my school. She monitored my studies way too strictly, and that brought a lot of trouble into my life. Like I said, I'm not smart, but no one knew it besides mom. My mom was a credit maniac, and she always wanted to show off my fake achievements. She constantly tried to cover up my mistakes so that I appeared talented to my peers and other teachers. Once, I was taking a Spanish multiple choice final exam and used an eraser to choose the answer randomly as usual. Let's see. Question 1. Just like that, I breezed through 50 questions. However, after half an hour, my class suddenly changed the teacher in charge. The teacher who entered was none other than my mom. Ha, what a surprise. I knew for sure that she would disapprove of my careless attitude towards the exam, and indeed, she immediately ran over and took my eraser. Did she seriously believe I would be more serious by doing that? I was just so over it. I didn't study for the exam anyways. Within 2 minutes, I circled all the leftover answers and submitted them. I sighed and was about to leave, but then, shockingly, my mom took out another exam result and switched it with mine. Mom? Shh! I yanked the paper from her hand, but she didn't give up. This is unethical, Mom. Go away. If you were smart, I wouldn't have to do that. Saying that, she slapped my arm, causing me to let go of the exam paper. I angrily went out and saw Rose, my bestie. Rose was an excellent student with the highest 4.0 GPA in the school. We were completely different in terms of abilities and personalities. Although we were close, I never told her about my mom cheating for me. Are you okay, Sophia? I'm fine. It's just that my mom keeps bothering me with my exam. Really? I think you're lucky to have your mother as a teacher here. She can help you improve a lot. I wish I could be you. Jeez, I knew Rose's family was poor and she had to work very hard for anything she wanted. But having excellent but fake results was nothing to be happy about. My mom took things too far and dragged me into her schemes unwillingly. However, things started to go south one day. Once, my mom abused her power and told Peter, a classmate who sat next to me, to take 2 tests, which were his and mine at the same time, if he wanted to improve his score in geography, a subject he dreaded. However, his final score was lower than mine. It made him extremely angry and he threatened to report it to the principal. However, the next day when we were in the classroom, the principal furiously came to my class.
Who drew graffiti on my car?
Then my mom proceeded to check each student and discovered a jar of black paint inside Peter's school bag. But that bottle of paint, it was my homemade paint. Poor Peter was then expelled. For sure, there was no one else except my mom who did it. I decided to go to the principal's office to tell him the truth. As I was about to enter, someone pulled me into a corner and covered my mouth no matter how I struggled.
Foolish child, are you ratting me out?
Mom, let me go! I'll tell him everything. Peter is wronged. You've gone too far. She suddenly sat down, hugged my legs and cried. If I informed the principal, she would definitely be fired. She would lose her dream job and we would lose our income. Not wanting to see mom cry, I cowardly keep quiet again. A few weeks later, my school collaborated with the University of Oxford and decided to hold a competition to award a scholarship to the most outstanding student. When both Rose and I were on the candidate list, she was very happy. For her, it was a good opportunity to finally pay off her tuitions. Oh, Sophia, you have no idea how long I've been waiting for this. I really wanted my bestie to win, so that night, I told my mom about how admirable Rose was and my wish to withdraw from the scholarships competition. A week later, when the exam started, I was about to let myself get caught by bringing a cheat sheet inside the room. But strangely, the sheet I prepared at home the night before was not in my bag. I was sighing and yawning when suddenly, a loud voice came from the speaker.
Student number 0314, Rose Bieber, is now disqualified from the scholarships competition for cheating.
Rose? But Rose never cheated in an exam before. What was happening? A moment later, I saw Rose dejectedly walking with her classroom supervisor. It was my mom again. Rose walked past my exam room and glared at me angrily. After the exam, I ran to the boardroom in panic and saw Rose being scolded. The principal signed something on the paper, then gave it to her. My bestie walked out in disappointment as I ran over. What happened? Are you okay? She glared at me and coldly brushed past me. Behind her, the principal was holding a cheat sheet. It looked quite similar to the one I prepared yesterday. Did someone put it in her bag to frame her? Without a doubt, it must have been my mom. I immediately went home to confront her. How could you put my cheat sheet in Rose's bag?
Be quiet. You should be glad that you're the #1 candidate for the Oxford Scholarship now.
I don't need it. I'll tell everyone the truth.
There's no proof. No one will believe your nonsense.
I was absolutely furious about my crazy mother. I must get justice for Rose. As expected, I was the only one who won the Oxford Scholarship with my 3.9 GPA. They would award me at the school year party and everyone would be present. Finally, the part that my mom had been waiting for the most had come. The moment when her trophy daughter came up to receive an award that was not meant for her.
Here comes New Jersey High School's top student, Sophia Lawrence. She will receive a full scholarship from the University of Oxford.
I took the scholarship certificate, then walked to the center of the stage. I took a deep breath and was about to reveal the truth. However, Rose suddenly appeared. Everyone! Sophia put the cheat sheet in my bag! She framed me! Please check her handwriting on the sheet! Do it! A moment later, someone brought over that cheat sheet and my notebook. However, they had completely different handwriting. And I recognized the handwriting on the cheat sheet immediately. It was my mom's.
Rose, they look completely different.
Impossible! I saw her use it with my own eyes! I even got it from her bag! In the midst of it, my mom was smiling proudly. It seems that Rose wanted to slander Sophia. Unacceptable! Escort her out! Turns out, Sophia was not so nice because she stole my cheat sheet to hurt me back. If I was disqualified, she was the next in line to get the scholarship. But my mom was quicker. Knowing that I would intentionally cheat to get caught, Mom had switched my sheet with the one she wrote by herself. Rose couldn't stop crying when she was kicked out. My mom leaned into my ear. Go get your prize, dear. Seeing my bestie willingly trade our friendship for a mere scholarship, I was reminded of a credit maniac mom. Obviously, I didn't care nor deserve this scholarship. I angrily squashed my mom's hand away. Everyone, so far, all of my achievements have been fake. My mom helped me cheat on them. I want to start over and retake every exam. My mom was so shocked that she immediately fainted. The next day, when the principal investigated my case closely, he discovered that all I said was true. I had to study seriously to retake every class. Even though my final exam scores were horrible and I barely passed, I was more proud of myself than ever. My eyes lit up when I saw the shoes Kelvin gave me for my birthday party. Oh my god! Thanks, Kelvin! I've been wanting these for months. I hugged my brother and kept saying thank you. With a happy mood, I excitedly continued to unwrap Luck's gift. It was a mysterious-looking wooden box with a message above. For the most beautiful. I asked skeptically, "What's inside?" "Open it and you'll find out, sis." When I just opened it, a clown with a hideous face popped up. I screamed in panic and fell backwards. Unfortunately, I landed on top of my birthday cake. Oh, Luck the devil had ruined my party. Hi, I'm Anna. Kelvin and Luck are my two older brothers. Even though they're twins, even our family can't understand why the two of them are so different. While Kelvin is gentle, kind, and helpful, Luck is a troublemaker and always bullies others. It can be said that they're like angel and devil who can never be on the same page. Kelvin and Luck often have conflicts, and the person I always root for is Kelvin. He's a really great brother, unlike Luck, who loves bullying me. It seems that seeing me suffer is his pleasure. I still remember on the day I received the scholarship at school, while waiting for the ceremony to begin, Luck suddenly appeared in front of me while munching chocolate. "Move, Anna, I want to sit here." "Go away, there are still many other seats around. I don't want to sit next to an ass who would love to ruin my day." "Oh, look at how Miss I got the scholarship is acting all high and mighty. Just shut up and move, turd." Without my consent, he pushed me aside and sat in my seat. Not long after that, Kelvin also appeared. I excitedly stood up and signaled that there was an empty seat next to me and told him to hurry there. Luck seemed rather annoyed seeing that. "Try to be nice like Kelvin and maybe I'll treat you better." "Just wait and see." Luck smirked scornfully at me. His face showed clear displeasure. After that, the three of us quickly settled into our seats and waited for the principal to begin the ceremony. After the speech, he started calling each honor student to receive the scholarship.
Next, Anna York.
Hearing my name, I excitedly stood up and stepped onto the stage. Suddenly, Kelvin pulled my hand back.
Wait, Anna, your pants.
I looked at my crotch bewilderedly, and to my horror, I found Luck's chocolate on them. It left a big stain in the middle of my butt. It looks as if I just pooped my pants. I glared angrily at my evil brother, and he was looking back at me with a triumphant smile.
Anna York, are you there?
The principal's urging made me even more panicked. If anyone saw that stain, they would tease me to death. At that moment, Kelvin borrowed a towel and wrapped it around my waist to cover the stain. I breathed a sigh of relief and hurried to the stage, but after I walked a few steps, the towel fell down.
Oh, look, that's poop. We got an Amber Heard in the house.
Luck yelled and all eyes turned to me. Then everyone started laughing their butts off. I was so embarrassed that I could only run away from there. For the next several weeks, my incident was still one of the hottest topics, and as expected, I was teased non-stop. But that's still not the worst thing Luck has ever done to me. One day, after seeing a brother makeup challenge on TikTok, I convinced Kelvin to join me. We started filming in the living room and were having so much fun until Luck showed up and accidentally kicked my makeup box. He hugged his leg in pain and howled angrily.
Ouch! Who left this stupid thing here? And Kel, you look like a clown.
Kelvin rolled his eyes sarcastically.
Bro, you're a clown even without makeup.
Yeah, just go away, Luck. Don't bother us.
Sure, fine.
After saying that, he left, but when we weren't paying attention, Luck suddenly reappeared and stuck a large piece of waxing pad on Calvin's forehead.
Bro, what the hell are you doing? Nothing, I'm just giving you two a hand.
Then he forcefully pulled the pad away. All Calvin could do was scream deafeningly. Then he was even more shocked to find that his eyebrows had been wiped completely.
Damn it, bro, I'll beat you to a pulp.
Calvin furiously stood up and chased Luck all over the house. Luck was such an obnoxious jerk. I wish I could teach him a lesson. And unexpectedly, that opportunity came to me sooner than I thought. One day, I overheard that Luck and his rock band was going to have their first school performance. It would be a lifetime opportunity for me to humiliate him in front of everyone just like he did to me. To make sure my plan worked, I asked Calvin for help, but surprisingly, he refused.
I know bro is mean, Anna, but you shouldn't do this.
Come on, Kel. Being nice to him is a big mistake. Despite his dissuasion, I continued with my revenge plan. One day, when every student had left, I secretly hung a bucket of paint in the center of the school stage. I would time the perfect moment to pull the rope so that it fell on Luck's head. My evil brother would have to suffer what I went through. On the day the band performed, I hid in the wings and waited. While Luck was engrossed in singing, I pulled the rope to knock over the bucket of paint. However, it seems to have been stuck. Although I pulled it repeatedly, the bucket didn't fall. At that moment, Calvin suddenly appeared.
Anna, what are you doing here?
No, it's just... The embarrassment sold me out. After taking a look around, Calvin seemed to have understood what was happening.
Come on, sis. Haven't we talked about this already?
But don't you want him to get a taste of his own medicine for once?
I know you dislike him because he's mean. But now, to get back on him, you're doing the exact same thing you hate about him. Anna, you're making yourself the second Luck. Listen to me. Can we find another way?
For the first time in my life, I saw Calvin siding with Luck. Maybe he was right. Revenge wouldn't make me any better than my evil brother. In the end, I decided to listen to Calvin and abandon my plan. As we were about to leave, the rope suddenly moved and the paint bucket started pouring down from above. Calvin and I panicked and quickly rushed to push Luck away. Brother, be careful! But it was too late. The paint bucket had poured over us.
Shoot, my show! What the hell are you two doing?
Luck screamed angrily. The audience below witnessed the whole scene and laughed non-stop. Once again, the legendary photo of the three of us covered in paint was spread throughout the school. Someone even stuck it on the bulletin board.
It doesn't look half bad. At least now we all look equally pathetic.
Your optimism is something else, Luck. He was quiet for a while, then suddenly he spoke up.
You know, I actually want to be closer to you two, but you keep leaving me out. It's kinda lonely, you know. That's why I always want to piss you off.
His words stunned me. It made me realize that I had never actually tried to give him a chance and always blindly pushed him away. I see. Well, let's get along from now on. I timidly reached out my hand to shake his.
No, that's cheesy.
Luck blushed and left. Calvin and I burst out laughing at his rare embarrassed expression. Although we didn't say it, we understood Luck had agreed to get along with us. After that incident, I changed the way I treat my brothers. Sure enough, Luck had stopped bullying me since then. He was more friendly and easy to talk to. I really love my two brothers. When the hosts were about to announce the queen of this year's prom, Hannah turned to me and smirked. Ready to lose, butt face. She then swaggered onto the stage, but my friends quickly pushed her back. She watched her shoe drop and angrily shouted, "What the hell are you doing? Ah, my shoes!" The host's voice echoed throughout the hall.
And our queen this year is...
I held my breath waiting for the result. With this oversized appearance, could I win? Hi, I'm Maddie. You may not believe it, but I was once a pretty girl who weighed just over 100 pounds, and I was the captain of a famous dance team. But then, everything changed 2 years ago. In the semi-finals of an important dance competition, the person who would perform the somersault in my team suddenly injured her ankle. It made us very nervous. Oh no, we'll lose! Her part is the most important highlight of our performance. I quickly reassured everyone. It's alright, I'll do that part. So we quickly settled in and began our performance. Everything was fine until I looked below my feet and saw my teammates. They were clasping their hands, trying to hide their tension. As the group threw me up, I crossed my heart, closed my eyes, and rolled with all my might in the air. And, unbelievably, a perfect jump! We excelled in making it to the final round! Soon after that, we became extremely famous. There were so many people who applied to our team, but only 2 people impressed me. An amber-eyed girl and a chubby girl. Their dance moves were so smooth. However, they were still lacking something, so in the end, I decided not to choose them and kept our old lineup. But then, before the decisive match, I accidentally injured my back. Because I didn't want to give up my hard work, I secretly took painkillers and continued to perform. It was a wrong decision. During the performance, when my teammates stepped on my back, it was so painful that I fell to the floor. We failed miserably. After the competition ended, my team was very disappointed. You should have found a replacement. Your selfishness has ruined us. So I lost the trust of them all. But that wasn't the worst. Because of an antibiotic overdose and prolonged stress, I developed Cushing's syndrome. My weight increased uncontrollably. After all those unfortunate events, I asked my parents to transfer schools and avoided everyone I knew. But you know what? Trouble always found a way to me. My new school had an exclusive group that included all the most popular girls. The group leader is Hannah, a stylish blondie. When she saw me, she blocked the road and looked at me furiously. Aren't you like a tail? You keep chasing after me. Before I could understand anything, she left. And since that day, Hannah seemed to have made me a target of humiliation. At lunchtime, I was carrying my tray of food when suddenly Hannah reached out and threw it all on the ground. Oops, sorry. Think of it as me helping you lose weight. You're welcome. Not stopping there, another time during swimming lessons, when it was my turn, the blondie raised her voice to the whole class. Be careful with your phones on the floor. The water in this pool is about to overflow. Everyone burst into laughter, which embarrassed me so much. Then Hannah suddenly stepped closer to me as if she wanted to push me. I was so scared that I quickly jumped into the pool and accidentally splashed water everywhere. It splashed on Hannah's face as well, making her mascara smudged and running down her cheeks. She screamed loudly while clutching her face and ran away. Once, when Hannah saw me alone on schoolyard, she approached me and raised her voice. Hey, how does it feel to be fat? The perfect dance captain is just an ugly girl now. Wait, she said, dance captain? So this girl with amber eyes is... I remember it! Turns out, Hannah is the timid girl who applied to my old team but was rejected. I was amazed at how she had become so much more beautiful. Hannah said that because of my rejection, she had to undergo surgery to look better. You are the captain only because of your beauty. Now you can never surpass me anymore. Say goodbye to your crown, fat ass. Then she coldly left. I ran into the crowded hallway trying to catch Hannah. Hey, wait! I didn't become the captain because of my looks. I earned it with hard work. Hearing that, the blondie suddenly turned around and said loudly so everyone could hear. What's up, Maddie? You want to challenge me to become the queen of the prom? It's on! Queen? Prom? What on earth? I was so confused when my eyes suddenly glued to a poster on the wall. It was about an upcoming school prom. Is she going to embarrass me again? Oh, hell to the no. She had stepped on my pride and my efforts as an ex-dance captain. I'll make her regret it. I looked for many ways to lose weight quickly and ate only cereal during meals. Some days, I even drank water only. A week passed, but only 10 pounds were lost. I hastily ordered weight loss pills, but in the end, they only brought me diarrhea. Looking at myself in the mirror, I felt so depressed. Maddie, how can you dance with this body? I was about to give up when I stumbled across a dance video online with millions of views. The dance moves were perfect. I was even more shocked to realize that it was the chubby girl who once applied to my old dance team. There was something so different about her. Still those same dance steps, but she seemed to be glowing. I scrolled down to the comment section and it was full of compliments. Right, I finally realized it. She was different from before because she had so much more confidence. Yes, I used to be the captain of a dance team. As long as I regained my confidence, nothing could stop me. So I started working hard after school. Every now and then, Hannah would come and throw a few sarcastic remarks at me when I passed the hallway. "Get out of the way for the queen! It'll take a lot of space!" Everyone laughed and mocked me, but that only fueled me more. A few weeks later, the prom finally took place. The blondie walked up to the stage and danced to a catchy song. After finishing her dance, she walked over to me provocatively. "Your turn, Cap." I firmly walked to the stage while saying, "Open your eyes and see the difference between a dance captain and an amateur." I stood on the splendid stage, closed my eyes, took a deep breath, and whispered to myself, "Go to sleep, chubby girl." And when I opened my eyes, I shouted wildly and energetically, "Wake up, dance team captain!" I danced with all my confidence, my skills, and my pent-up feelings. At the end of the performance, I stood on the stage and watched the whole hall go silent. Oh, did I screw up? But then, applause and whistles were booming throughout the hall. "Oh my God, Maddie! You killed it! You sexy beast!" I happily ran down the stage. While Hannah was gaping in surprise, I confidently said to her, "Do you know why you were disqualified? Because you cared too much about looks, that your moves lacked boldness and passion. You were afraid that if you went all out, you'd look ugly. Today is no different." It was so satisfying to see Hannah's mouth drop to the floor. Soon after, the part everyone was waiting for arrived. We all were anxiously waiting for who would be announced the queen. The host opened the result sheet, and Hannah shamelessly walked towards the stage. But the name that was announced was mine?
Maddie, our queen with amazing dance moves!
After that day, I formed a dance team in the school, welcoming everyone who has the same passion. And believe it or not, Hannah also applied. After figuring it all out, she decided to try her best to become a true dancer.